This general task 1 involves a letter to a friend about moving house. You're asked to write at least 150 words in this task, but this example uses 214 in total. That's around 40% more than the minimum. That's not a problem in itself, but it's not always a good idea to write as much as this, as it can increase the chances or the frequency of possible errors, which could in turn have a negative effect on the band awarded. It's certainly something to think about, as there are time pressures in the test, and writing considerably more than required in Task 1 could result in spending longer than the recommended 20 minutes, thereby reducing the time available for the more valuable Task 2. As you review the letter, try to think if any of the information is unnecessary or too focused on minor details and could safely be left out. If we look at the marking criteria Rob mentioned earlier, in terms of task response, the letter has a clear purpose and it addresses all the required points. However, the task calls for a letter to a friend, so really the register should be appropriately informal. The tone in this letter is not really consistent throughout, and expressions like "I would like to inform you" are just too formal for this context. Some simple changes, like using contractions here, 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 and elsewhere, would definitely have made a real improvement to the overall tone of the letter. The next thing to look at is coherence and cohesion. The letter is logically organized and paragraphed, but the sentences tend to be quite short and separate, with few examples of cohesive devices being used. So this is definitely an area to look at which could be improved. In terms of lexical resource, the letter has some very good vocabulary related to the topic, such as the long hours spent in commuting, state-of-the-art air conditioning system, contractor, and match the colour with the interior. But there is some inaccuracy, such as furnitures rather than furniture, or the unnecessary preposition "with a hefty amount." If we look at grammatical range and accuracy, there are some good complex sentences, such as "that must be the reason why I haven't seen you lately," or "you already know that my wife Anna is always complaining about the long hours spent in commuting from her work." There are some errors in grammar and punctuation, such as "in my new telephone number" or "you're" here rather than apostrophe RE, but these don't really harm effective communication.